All right, guys, let's get into it. Welcome to, this is like prompting 101. That's what I'm going to call it. But this is where you're going to actually learn how to take the prompt that I'm giving you, how to execute on it, and how to build a phenomenal, high-selling, high transformation-causing product. Remember, everything we do is trying to help somebody else get a transformation in their life that they want. So, very first thing you're going to do is you're going to be copying the prompt that I've given you. So I'm going to try to do this in under an hour. It's 1:17 p.m. my time now. I'll look at the clock when we get done and see what we've been able to do. My goal, get this done in under an hour so that you guys can see exactly what we're doing. And the big goal there means that there's some of this stuff that I'm going to have to move somewhat quickly on to be able to get it done. But I want to try to make sure that I cover everything that I possibly can that you might run into. The biggest thing that you're going to notice as I go through prompting all of this is very conversational. This is what prompting is. It's like trying to figure out what you have to say and how to say it to get AI to give you the answer and the outcome that you want. It is not, by default, going to give you the answer that you want. It's just not. That's what makes the difference here. If it knew what to do, it wouldn't need you. So we're going to start with a prompt. Now, the starting prompt kind of sets the tone for the chat. Now, if you're not familiar with AI, this is ChatGPT, and you can go to chatgpt.com and get free access to this. You can also use Grok, G-R-O-K, and I use another platform called Get Poppy, which I really love. That one is not free, but I'll show you guys that one later down the line. So let's just assume you're using the free version of this. You want to get started ASAP. You are going to paste the prompt that I gave you in this members area by this module. You'll paste the entire thing in there. What it does is it fully tells it what we want, what our expectations are, what next steps to take, what information we're looking for, so on and so forth. So you can see I just pasted it in there. I'm going to hit return. Now starts a good back and forth, and this is what's going to make your product decent or great. It'll be decent no matter what you do. It'll be great if you actually put some time into it. And again, you're going to notice a theme, and that is that you're going to need to be creating a product in a niche that you know something about or that you yourself are involved in. Major reason for that is because otherwise you won't know how to prompt it. And so if I use the example of I quit smoking, right? If you never quit smoking, you're going to have no idea of like, oh, hey, can we go deeper into that? Can we talk about why that happened? How do I do this? You're not going to know to do that. So let's just show you what happened. So again, we're 2 minutes in here. So we've taught this platform to respond with a list of a bunch of different niches, industries, and ideas in case you don't know where to start. So what you would do is you would copy and paste everything that you're interested in, that you'd be willing to pursue, that you've already been pursuing in. That's how you're going to respond, right? So you don't have to read through all of this if you don't want to, but basically you can see it says, once you've given me your niche, target demographic, and desired transformation, I'll suggest 3 to 5 killer product ideas. We don't have to give it the desired transformation. What we're going to give it is our niches. Then we're going to have it help us figure out what a desired transformation could be. Goal number 1 here is just to pick things that, again, you belong in. So if you're into holistic healing, go there. Holistic healing and time management, choose those. For me, I created products in metabolism, I could do fitness, I could do marriage, I could do parenting. We have to separate the fact that I'm not choosing a niche that I necessarily believe that I am an expert in. I'm choosing a niche that I belong in. Therefore, I know how to speak to those people. So do-it-yourself home decor, communication skills. Don't worry about whether or not this makes money or how am I going to make money from this. We'll get to that stage. So in this case, I'm going to say, I'm going to use our quit smoking example. Actually, I was hoping to create a quit smoking fast style program. So again, I'm going into this with the idea that I already know what I want, and I would like your help. This is important that you understand how I'm actually talking to it. The mistakes that you're going to make when it comes to AI is you're just going to go in and go, actually, I want to do quit smoking. Give it more. Okay, so you're going to see how I do that. and I would like your help coming up with a multi-pillar approach to quitting that follows the PERK method, something that could help someone quit smoking quickly, even in the face of all of the previous failures. Hopefully by tapping into psychology, studies that have been published, and even hypnotherapy tactics, we can teach them. Hypnotherapy. Can you help me create the 6 pillars? So that's my first move when I'm prompting it for a product, is like, okay, I've chosen my niche. In my case, I did this exact same prompt. It kicked out a bunch of ideas, and one of them was parenting. I was like, all right, let's go in the parenting space. And then I did the same thing. Help me come up with 6 pillars that we can help parents with that are going to improve the conversation and relationship between them and their kids, get their kids to listen to them more. That's what we're doing. We're telling it what we want. And notice I'm not responding in single sentences. I'm responding in a paragraph. Here's exactly what I want. Here's why I want it. Here's how we get to it. Fill in all the details, okay? Can you help me create 6 pillars? Absolutely. Quit Smoking Fast program is perfect for the 15-minute transformation model, especially if we anchor it in proven psychology, behavioral science, and rapid habit breaking techniques. This is also nice because it validates my idea. I wanted to do a quit smoking product, and it's basically like, yeah, that's actually a great idea. It's nice when you hear that. 15-minute transformation helps smokers quit quickly by leveraging powerful psychological triggers, behavior hacking techniques, and simple mindset shifts. Pillar 1, the trigger trap, identifying the smoking patterns. I actually talked about this in my previous video. I've never looked into this, by the way. So I don't know what's proven to work, but it's cool that the one thing that I brought up is actually in here. A simple trigger mapping worksheet to quickly identify key smoking triggers, stress, social cues, boredom. The 5 whys technique to dig deeper into emotional drivers. Why this works. Studies show that habit loops, cue, action, reward, run on autopilot. Awareness interrupts the loop. Okay, step by step, print the trigger mapping sheet. In 5 minutes, list when, where, why they smoke, highlight the automatic triggers. Okay, so we keep going through. I can have it create the trigger mapping worksheet. So that's where we're going to get to this. Pillar 2, the breakthrough belief shift, rewiring your mindset. Most smokers fail because they believe smoking serves them. Stress relief, social bonding. I would have never thought about that, but now that you mention it, yes. This pillar uses psychology to flip that belief. A simple cost versus benefit reality check that exposes false rewards. A mini hypnotherapy audio focused on craving neutralization. Now, I don't have a 7-minute hypnotherapy audio, so we are going to have it remove that and see if we can give it something that they can read on their own. Why this works, cognitive behavioral therapy. Okay, we keep going. The power pivot, replacing the habit in 3 simple moves. You can't just remove a habit, you need to replace it. So again, this really nails down my PERK method. Eliminate, replace, create. Craving crusher, interrupting urges in under 2 minutes. Hypno habit reset, rewiring the brain for success. And then the 7-day victory sprint, locking in new habits. Great. And it'll always suggest at the end, would you like me to create all the worksheets, guides, and audio scripts? Yes, I would. Now, audio scripts we'd have to read. So in that case, you could keep the audio script if it's going to give you one that you're going to record. First, I think we need to dig much deeper into each pillar. Now, this is what I did. So right now, there's not enough in this for me to call this a product, right? So pillar 1, the trigger trap, identifying your smoking patterns. Let's dive into pillar 1, the trigger trap. I need a significant amount more data that talks about the power of triggers and some psychological study-based information to back it. This should be 400 to 500 words to really drive home the need to fix triggers and its direct impact on their smoking habit. Then we need 3 total fixes and I need a lot of information about each fix. Another 400 to 500 words per fix. Also backed by any data we can find. I don't think we can do the trigger mapping sheet, but I'll come back to that. Let's see what you can do to make these modules much more informational and robust. Remember, we're trying to sell a product here. We're not just going to go with the absolute bare minimum of like, hey, that's something. We just got the beginning of this. We have an hour on our time slot. I'm only 10 minutes in, I think. So we've got the foundation for it, which I think is great. And here's what, again, I want to stress this. As somebody who has quit smoking myself, I can tell you all of this sounds like it's something that should be in place, right? It is great. I can also, at the end of this, I can give it my story, tell it what I did, and see if it can work some of that in. But we'll get there. So I did that. We're going to wait for it to respond. Here we go. The power of triggers and smoking habits. Smoking is not merely a physical dependence on nicotine. It's also a deeply ingrained behavioral pattern reinforced by various triggers. This is amazing, okay? This is what I want. This makes us look like, wow, they really put in the time. You see how we're starting to get differentiating factors now. This looks way different than this. This is cool, but not nearly as much information as we need. This is way better. Fix 1, trigger mapping. Trigger mapping involves systematically identifying and documenting the specific cues that prompt the urge to smoke. Implementation steps: maintain a smoking diary for 1 week. Record each instance of smoking, noting the time, location, activity, emotional state, and people present. This detailed log helps in recognizing patterns and pinpointing common triggers. Analyze patterns. Review the diary to identify recurring themes. Are there specific times of the day, emotions? Categorize triggers. Classify identified triggers into categories such as emotional stress, boredom, etc. Supporting evidence. The National Health Service emphasizes the importance of understanding people's smoking triggers, personal smoking triggers, to manage cravings effectively. By recognizing these triggers, individuals can develop strategies to avoid or cope with them, thereby reducing the likelihood of relapse. What's really cool is we can also use a marketing tactic as we build this out, because you'll notice nothing in here talks about using a patch, chewing gum, or any of these other crazy, elaborate, very expensive, traditional methods for quitting smoking. So we can do what's called throwing rocks at the enemy. In our marketing process, we can actually use all of that against it. So how to quit smoking in the next 15 days without spending a single dollar on gum or patches, right? So without will come into play, which is great. So the more we can give them here that's actual functional stuff that doesn't require the typical response, we can use that in our marketing, which is great, because most people who want to stop smoking have tried to quit before and just can't. I tried for multiple years to quit smoking before I quit. I now haven't touched and or been interested in a cigarette in 10 plus years, 11 years probably. But I had smoked for 6 or 7 before that, and was really tough stopping because I just wanted it and I kept putting myself in those situations and all of this. So yeah, this is great and can be helpful. And we can keep diving into everything deeper and deeper. And another thing that I want to warn you or urge you guys to think about, I'm going to put this out and I'm going to go ask people that have quit smoking, will you go through this and tell me if I'm missing anything? Do you feel like I should add something? Like, I'm going to get feedback on this product before anybody ever buys it. So that way I know this should be good. Implementation steps. So let's see. We got cognitive behavior techniques aim to modify the thoughts and behaviors associated with smoking triggers, facilitating healthier responses. So challenge and reframe. Examine the validity of these thoughts. So, okay, so you're going to have a thought record. I need a cigarette to relax. Examine the validity of these thoughts. Is there evidence supporting them? One thing that you could also do in this case, I'm creating a quit smoking product. There's these things called GPTs that you can actually create. You can see up on the top left-hand side of my screen here. I have paid creators newsletter, a membership area, a content creation. You can actually make AI that you can train, right? ChatGPT makes it so you can train the AI to learn certain things. You could make a quit smoking diary journal that people could use when they sign up for your program, so that, hey, if you want to use AI to help you quit smoking, use this. And it will literally Like you can prompt it. You can see here, if I go here, I can prompt it. What's your niche or industry? If I do that, it'll prompt me through writing a newsletter because this is my newsletter architect. I taught it how to write a good newsletter. Well, you can do the same thing in a quit smoking format. And you can even have AI help write the training for the quit smoking program. And it's free. They can use it free. They don't have to pay, which is awesome. So we've got more there. Let's see. Fix number 3, mindfulness-based interventions, implementation steps, mindful breathing, body scan meditation, urge surfing. Now, this is module 1. I could consider this mostly done. I'd have to read it all. I don't want to do all of that while I'm here with you, but it would take me another 2 minutes to read all of it if I thought it was good. Again, I would add on to this. So let's add like 5 minutes to my time that I'm not doing, because I could add on to this and I would make module 3 its own thing, and I would ask it, like, I'll show you what I would do here. So let's go here. Fix number 2. Okay. I think we need a bit more info and some more hardline style implementation strategy. Maybe we can implement a step where they use AI and ChatGPT as their diary recorder and allow the AI to challenge and reframe. So again, now I'm actually tapping into AI as well, which is something that I can do. And I can mention it on my sales page, and I can actually leverage now my sales technique, my unique mechanism by doing all of this. My unique mechanism, which is going to make people buy your thing, is how to leverage AI to help you quit smoking faster. And now we're going to get people buying this all dang day. Okay. So we've got, so you can see here, Fix 2 has a lot more data on it now. See this? This is a much more full module. And I would do that with every step. I would re-prompt it exactly the same. I'd go back up here. I'd go to fix number 1, and I would say, okay, I think we need a bit more info and more and some more hardline style implementation strategies. Maybe we can implement this, blah, blah. I would do that with every single step. This now, and I haven't even read it yet, but this now is my module 2. So this is cool, right? This is unbelievable, honestly. So now we've got additional tools for this module. Great. Are you ready to map out pillar 3, or would you like me to expand on CBT module even further? So what I would do is I would tell it, before we map out module 3, can you get me a list of cognitive distortions in smokers that we, can print out? Can you also provide me an AI prompt cheat sheet and a reframe bank PDF? I would have it give me those documents. So now, again, what's really great about this, here, I'll just show you. Can you provide me a single PDF file that contains the list of common cognitive distortions and the reframe bank? It's now going to make a PDF that I can download, upload to my members area, and now I'm giving them physical material with this program that I don't have to actually make. Could you go through and brand it and make it look all fancy and everything? Of course you can. You don't have to, because it's going to do it for me. So this is exactly what I would do for every single pillar and every single module. I'm describing the entire process, and I'm 20 minutes in exactly. Without describing it to anybody, I could just get back and forth on this thing like a conversation. Now, what I did with all my membership areas is, as I get a result that I want, so like this is a result that I want, I'm going to copy this. So I'm just going to actually show you guys, because I have this set up. This is where I build my membership areas, and we'll cover this more, but if you're in Wealth Reconnect, you'll be very familiar with this, and you can also, I'm sure there are hundreds of other programs that you can use to build membership areas and all that jazz. So I'm just going to show you a real quick sort of understanding of how I leverage this information. So we've got here the PDF. It actually works. Sometimes it doesn't. You got to keep going back and forth. Boom. Cognitive distortions and reframe bank. All or nothing thinking. If I smoke one cigarette, I've failed completely. Overgeneralization. I failed to quit before, so I will fail again. Mental filtering. I only focus on the times I failed and ignore my small wins. Maybe what I could do is I could build an AI agent which again, this takes minutes. You literally can click over in the Explore GPTs, you can create a GPT. And I could create something that actually has a response to these. Like, okay, so now what I would do in that module is I would say, if you are feeling any of these cognitive distortions, please go to this AI and enter it in. So maybe you would say to yourself, I should be able to quit without help. If you've had that thought, go put this into ChatGPT and talk to my GPT about this. And I would build the GPT to know how to respond to these things so I can actually help people. Guys, this is a really freaking good product. I don't even know what the market for it is, but let me ask, do you know how big the quit smoking market is? I mean, it's got to be an enormous market. The global smoking cessation and nicotine de-addiction market has been experiencing significant growth in recent years. And that is true. More people are trying to quit smoking now than ever before. Approximately $25.4 billion, and it's projected to double in the next 5 years, growing at a compound annual growth rate of 10%. It's growing almost as fast as the digital marketing space in and of itself. Regionally, North America held a significant share of the market, accounting for 40%. So if I'm going to market this product, I want to market it in America, and I know that it is popping right now. I just chose this as a random, but I'm one solid module in. So let's go ahead and hop back into this. Where I don't know if you guys are going to be able to see it because I might be on the wrong window, but I'm going to try to see if I can get this to pop up in the window. There we go. So we'll just create a scratch product here. We're going to call this Quit Smoking. So I want to show you how I build this in. So, because again, I wanted to show you that I can build a complete ready-to-sell product in an hour if that's all I had focused on. So course content, I'm going to change all that, but I want to come back to it. Create a category. This category is going to be called whatever we had in here. What was this whole pillar? So if we go up, what was this pillar? Quit smoking fast. Pillar 1 is the trigger trap. Okay. The trigger trap. This is exactly how I would build it, right? So I'm going to add a lesson. Lesson 1 is overview of the trigger trap. Okay. Edit that module. And now I'm going to use the long paragraph that I had right here. Understanding and addressing the triggers that prompt smoking is important. Fix 1 trigger mapping. So I want this whole thing. This is like just a summary, right? So originally you might have thought, oh, Travis, you got your product right there. No, this is just module 1. Bang! Got it with citations. We're ready, right? Okay, so this is just going to outline some of the things that we're going to talk about when we go through. I can go through here and make it look a little prettier, right? So you can absolutely format this thing so it looks a little bit better and it's a little easier to read. We don't want all the paragraphs to be immediately next to each other all the time. Space them out a little bit. All right, so we've got module 1. Now, I need to continue to finish this out, I do need a 1280 by 720 image. What's great is that's the same as a YouTube thumbnail. So watch this. I go to Canva. I want to do a design. I want a YouTube thumbnail. I have hundreds of options to choose from right here. I can do however I want to do this. Right now, again, a lot of these have people's face in them. That's what YouTube really wants. You can absolutely do that. I love this one. I actually use this one a lot for myself. So customize. I'll just show you guys what I do. So that picture is obviously not mine, but I've already uploaded a bunch of pictures. So we're going to go to uploads. I just need a picture that I can use as a background here. So I'm going to upload this one. And it should fall right into place. Right there. So there it is. That's my background. I can do a bunch of things to this if I wanted to, but for now, I really don't need to. I'm going to call this Quit Smoking. And we're going to call this Triggers. Okay? Addressing okay, and we'll call this Module 1. Bang. Share, download. I did that as fast as I could. I didn't change any of my colors, didn't add any branding, nothing else. Upload an image, Bang. So now I've got a beautiful looking members area already coming together. And this is, again, maybe it wouldn't be called triggers. Maybe this is an overview of the trigger trap, but this is fine. I can use that same thumbnail for every video if I want, or I can add more. So now I go ahead and that's already saved. I can publish it. Now everybody has access to it. So now I'm continuing to work through. The reason I didn't add that module to the module that was already existing here, which I'll show you when it loads, the reason I kept this here is because this is going to be my overview of the entire course. Right? So I might have like welcome, that's maybe a video or some content, the trigger trap, and then I'll have like an outline, or maybe I just have welcome here and then I go into these. But let's just go ahead and now we go here, we go fix number 2. I love it with the emojis, everything. Give it to me. That is fire. I don't want to add the additional tools to this module. I will add these myself and I'll upload them as PDFs and you'll see that. So I go here, add lesson. What is this one called? It is Cognitive Behavioral Techniques, CBD. CBT. Save. Bang. I would go through here again. I would make it look good. So it's very easy to read. It will look a little bit different when they're actually in it, so we don't have to worry about it too much. But now, again, upload image. This doesn't take a rocket scientist to know. We're going to do that kind of every single time. And now we want to attach a file, and that file is going to be the PDF that we downloaded with the Cognitive Distortion and Reframe Bank. And now we've got a file. So now every time they access this members area, if I wanted a video or if I wanted an audio, I could have it. Here is one suggestion. I would recommend uploading an audio if you wanted to like get fancy with it. Upload an audio version of it, and then you can actually list that on your sales page as comes with complimentary action item, bonus, whatever you want to do, free audio version. So now you can see we've got fix number 2, Cognitive Behavioral Techniques, and I might even just take this name and make that the title of the module. Delete it here. Boom. We got ourselves a great module. Now, I'm going to go ahead and preview it so you can see what your members would see as they are logging in. And so you guys can, I'm guessing, get the gist that I could build this pretty quickly. And you can see right here. So then now they've got this content. Would it look better with a video? Absolutely. Would it look better with an audio? Sure. But it's good content nonetheless. And what I would do is I would, at the end, take all of this and build it into one big PDF that I can give everybody. It's going to end up being 100 pages, right? Because some people might want to download it and take it with them. We want to give people everything that they want, okay? So that's pretty much all we would have to do here. You can see they can click on that. It'll download that reframe system in there. And now we're, again, off to the races. So now what I would do, going back in here, I would say, okay, let's get fix number 3. Okay, and now it should give me very similar formatting to fix number 2, but now it's for fix number 3, which is mindfulness-based interventions. I'm going to pop my way through this, ask it to give me any PDFs. Now I've got module 3. Then I'm going to go back to module 1. Bang. Now I'm going to say, okay, out of modules 1, 2, and 3, can you give me fast action tips that I can make a 5th module in, a summary? Okay. 90-second craving countdown. Pause and breathe. Narrate the craving. Start the 90-second timer. Write it out. Reflect. Pro tip. Urge surfing. Recognize the wave. Breathe into the craving. Observe without reacting. Track the outcome. These are awesome things, right? These are awesome things. Urge surfing has been shown to reduce relapse rates in smokers by up to 40% when used regularly. That is from the Journal of Substance Abuse Treatment in 2005. What are we doing here, guys? We can build a product in any niche that we want with real science because of the prompt and our ability to engineer the outcomes. Mindful morning ritual, tools to include in this module. We can do that. Help guide me through a 90-second craving countdown. You could absolutely add this. How to use AI. Printable 90-second craving countdown sheet, urge surfing visual guide, mindful morning routines, craving journal template, audio file. We don't need any of this if we don't want it. We can add in any of it that we want. My big suggestion for all of you, start with the bare minimum. I always teach this MVP, minimum viable product. What is the minimum amount of work that I have to put in to get people to go through this? And then I want to, like, again, depends on how bad you want this, right? If you are looking to make as many sales as possible in as short a time period as possible, what I would do is I'd put this together. I would go into every quit smoking group. I would go into every quit smoking forum. And I would just say, I just put together, based on all the scientific research I could get my hands on, a 6-module program that I used many pieces of to help myself quit smoking. See, that's another reason why it's really important that you are in the space. You tell them that you used it. You tell them that you used pieces of it, because I did use some of these pieces, but I organized it all into an easy-to-follow system that kind of breaks down all the science that's out there that I could find into an easy system that doesn't require patches and expensive gums. I'm looking for 100 people to go through this program and just tell me what they think of it. A, hopefully it helps you quit smoking. B, if there's anything that I missed. I would take advice from people who have quit and people who haven't. Whichever one you're at, I'm looking for you. Let me know if you want free access. Give 100 people free access, and when they go through it and they're like, this is great, do you know anyone? Do you know anyone that might be interested in this that I can give you a link for and for you to recommend it? If not, then will you do a video for me? Like, there's a lot that we can do. We'll get into that later when it comes to the marketing side. But as you can see, we now have a beautiful fix number 3. So I go back in here. I've already got fix 2. Add this, add lesson, fix 1, fix 3. I don't need the name yet because I'm going to edit it when I'm actually in the module, because I do a little copy and paster there. Now I go back to the top, copy this, paste it, looking beautiful, upload image, bang-a-rang, we got it. Now it's all saved, we're good. I can get rid of this, pull that in, core idea, why mindfulness matters, step-by-step implementation protocol, bang. Got ourselves some good information here. Again, we hit up the preview. You don't have to look at the preview every time. I'm just showing you because I'm building it in your face. We're 34 minutes in, and I'm almost 1 module all the way done while describing it and spending way too much time talking to you guys about it versus just doing it. So you can see here, when I go to the trigger trap, it won't show because there's nothing in there now that I think about it. It's all previewed. I haven't published anything. You would see a list of the modules with this little thumbnail, which looks great. So now we're good. We saved it. We go back. Now I want module 1. Then I want the review, and we keep doing that, right? So now we go with, okay, this is great. Can you give me the same for fix 1? Now, and here's what's really important. Now that we found this report, this like reply here for fix 2 and fix 3, now we're just going to keep leveraging that. Okay, great. Now help me out with fix number 1, blah, blah, blah. And then we're going to say, okay, keep this as a return format for each individual module so that when I break down other pillars, you respond to each module in much the same way. Okay? Okay, this is wonderful. We are going to move on to other pillars, but I want you to keep this style of return in mind as we go through other fixes inside those other 6 module pillars. For now, can you please give me a summary/action report that I can make a separate module for inside the trigger area that will summarize all of this and give them action steps. Okay, so this is prompt engineering, guys. That's all we're really doing. We're not having to be geniuses. I haven't quit smoking in a very long time, so I will not say I'm a professional. I will not tell you that I've done it more than once. I've only done it once. I failed a bunch, did it once, but I could easily create a product in this space that will help other people. And I think that's what's amazing. So now we've got our little review here. And so this is all I'm going to do to work my way through an entire quit smoking product. By the end, again, by an hour, which is only 20 more minutes from now, in an hour, I should have a full 4 to 6 pillar-based response, because now I've got it responding the way that I want. Now, if you notice, I'm just single prompting my way through now. I'm not having to like, well, we need to fix this, well, we need to fix that, well, we need to change that. Now I'm able to give it single responses, right? So I just go here, trigger mapping, summary and action report, down there, add lesson, action, and we can add a fix one as well if we wanted to. I'll do that just so I can get one complete module for you guys before moving on. There we go. Upload. I just want to make sure that I show you guys uploading that file every time, because it's just that it's easy to get it all done. Step-by-step action plan, mastering your triggers, analyze your triggers, create trigger swap strategies, use the 90-second craving count. And I've talked about this before. One of the reasons that we reiterate everything is because we really want people to have felt multiple of these, right? So, and again, in this case, it says, print the smoking diary and trigger typing worksheet. Okay, so maybe I need ChatGPT to make that so I can attach it here. Start logging cravings today, commit to 3 days. I would teach people, in my case, how to use ChatGPT to do this. I would be telling it, use my GPT that I made to log your cravings, commit to 3 days. Analyze your triggers and create 5 if-then plans. Use ChatGPT or a notebook as your ongoing craving log. Practice 90-second craving countdown with your next urge. These are awesome, dude. These are really good. And I'm literally just going to go through. I'm just going to create the module 1. And it's funny because we're all trying to create value. Nobody who's watching this, I don't care what your background is, if you ever smoked, nobody is going to tell me that there's no value in this. As somebody who was a smoker for a long time and who knows the importance of quitting, who knows the health benefits of it, I know that there's value in this. I didn't know any of this stuff when I was trying to quit. I was just throwing stuff at the wall. It would have been really nice to have somebody give me a few of these so that I could have tried them out. Maybe I would have quit smoking earlier. I don't know. But we're going to be selling this for $27. It's well worth it. Everybody who's a smoker who wants to quit should get their hands on it. And now it's backed by a bunch of science, a bunch of data that we didn't have going in. But now we know it's legit. We know it's good. And so now I've got one full module set up. And you can see here, this only took me maybe 10, 15 minutes of actual work, aside from my talking to you. I've got an overview of the trigger trap. I've got trigger mapping, cognitive behavioral techniques, mindfulness-based interventions, and trigger mapping summary and an action report. Every single pillar is going to be the exact same thing. So again, to now transition from here to the next pillar, okay, now we need to move to the next pillar. And that's all I really need to do. It knows the pillar. Okay, so now we've got the breakthrough belief shift. And now I can go through, that's going to be my summary module, which is the first module. Then I'm going to go into, okay, what's the first one? I don't know what it's going to actually tell me. Step 1, expose the lies. Okay, so now we need to get into, I'm going to have it, okay, can you go deeper into expose the lies? Can you go deeper into this? Can you go deeper into that? And we're going to keep breaking this thing down. Within 1 hour, you will have a fully built product ready to roll. Unless you're being picky, which I totally respect. Be more picky than I am, right? I'm not going through and making every single one of the PDFs. I'm not having them custom designed. You don't have to. The minimum viable product that you have to have out to be able to sell looks just like what I'm putting out. People are going to log into that members area. They're going to find it interesting, and you can add your own personal take and touch to all of these all of these modules. Your own story, however you want to do it. So we've got step 1, expose the lies. Is this Okay, so, these are great. What are the 3 fixes for this pillar? I don't know if that was an actual pillar or not. I'd have to go back up. Was it a pillar or was it giving me? It was a pillar. The 3 fixes for the breakthrough are the belief audit. So now it's going to give me the 3 fixes. So again, now I'm prompting my way through any questions that I might have. If I'm unsure about something, ask it, right? Ask. One of the biggest things that you can take away from this is just learning how to speak to AI. It's pretty amazing. So now we've got it. Fact versus fiction, the belief audit, hypno habit reset. Great. And I can now go, okay, great. Let's dive into a much deeper understanding with some science backing for fix number 1, the belief audit. And now I'm working my way through that. You can see how this starts to get faster and faster within no time. I'm 6 pillars in, 3 modules for each pillar. And just remember, our goal is to give them a result as fast as possible. So somebody could read this and go, okay, so what does smoking give me? What do I fear about quitting? And what do I believe about my ability to quit? They then spot emotional triggers. They evaluate beliefs. I only smoke when I'm stressed, reveals an emotional crutch. Okay, so I'm emotionally attached to this. How do I work that out? And now we're actually helping them, and we're doing it by them reading a few sentences, not by having to go through the entire psychology of why beliefs do what they do and spending hours in a module with somebody saying, I was in it's like, nope, in and out. That's what they want. That's what they're paying for, and that's where they're going to find value in it. So, yeah. That's it. I'm not going to waste your time by continuing to go through and just continue to prompt. You guys know what you have to do at this point. I want to let you go and do that. Speaking of time, go and start this process. So if I went back up to the top in this whole chat, which by the way, this is a living chat. So one thing you should understand about AI, each chat board, which I would consider this a board, right? On the left-hand side, you can see I've got all these other boards. It learns over time. So the more you feed it, the more it's going to give you in return. I will be showing you guys later on another AI platform that I use that you can directly feed information and see how it's being transformed into usable content for you. You can upload YouTube videos, you can upload Instagrams, you can do a bunch of really cool stuff, and it can build some amazing things. But this thing will learn over time. So what's cool is, again, it's going to give you your niches. Please go through and pick any and all of the niches that you find desirable. If you know a niche that you belong into, if you have a profession for a long time, if you have hobbies, list any and all of those out so that it can give you as much back as possible, and then you go from there. But almost all of you guys have accomplished something. Hopefully some of you are coming into this with an already existing idea of what you want to sell, in which case this is going to be a very easy process. One thing I would just urge you guys to do, though, is if you are somewhat of an experienced person with whatever your niche is, make sure you teach it as much as you possibly can, because you need that personal story. You need that exposure to the knowledge that you have, and you can also reframe it, and you can tell it when it gives you an answer. You can say, well, I've always found that it's like this. Can you find any more data that backs my version of it? And then boom, you'll have that. So that's it. Get to creating a product. Make sure you guys do us a favor. Go into the community. As soon as you've figured out what your niche is going to be and what your product is going to be, go into our community and make a post. It's one of the easiest things that you can do to help hold yourself accountable. And I have found a dramatic increase. Let's just call it 200 times increase. 200% increase. If you publicly post what your industry niche or product is going to be, the chances that you stick with it are 200 times higher, 200% higher. So please just go and post about this in our community. Feel free to comment anywhere that we exist. I'd love to hear about what you choose. And that's it for this video. Welcome to Prompt Engineering 101. Hopefully by the end of an hour from now, you have your own digital product ready to sell in an exciting niche that you can't wait to tell people about. That's it for us now. I'll see you in the next one.